Happy Kwanzaa from Trey once again. Habari Gani, Nia, which means purpose. This is one, I know I said this yesterday. This is also one of my favorite days of Kwanzaa, day number 5. Nia, which means purpose. I align my work with my calling. Purpose is not something that's found, it's uncovered through the process. I want to talk more about that. What does that mean? I think as a millennial, our generation kind of became obsessed with finding our purpose. And the older I get, the more mature I get, the more I realize ain't no purpose to be found. What does that mean? I want us to say this mantra: my life has meaning. My work serves something greater. Let's say that again. My life has meaning. My work serves something greater. The scripture, Proverbs 19:21 says, many are the plans in a person's heart, but it's the Lord's purpose that prevails. So what is purpose? Purpose answers why, not just what. Um, I can speak for myself as well. I've found myself being obsessed with trying to find my purpose. What is my purpose? What is my calling? What is my final destination? You know what the real answer is? Your final destination, your arrival point is death. It's the end of your life. Here's the thing. Everyone has to die at some point, but not everyone gets a chance to live. And you being in your purpose is you living your life, going through that process, going through those times of ups and downs. That is your real purpose. That is what you're really supposed to do. Misalignment often causes burnout. Let me tell you, this is something I learned again in my therapy journey. Um, when we look at the future is filled with so much uncertainty that it brings us anxiety. When we look at the past has all these triggers and trauma, right? They bring us depression. We have to remain grounded. I've started practicing this. You want to know if you are in your purpose? The only way to know if you are really fulfilling your purpose is not to look at your past. It's not even to look at your future. It's to look straight down at your feet. Where am I currently planted? And focus on being grounded right where you are. Purpose brings clarity to your decision making. So I'll give you a music example. Whenever I was teaching music, when I teach songwriting, and we're working on literally writing music and writing melodies, one thing that I tell my students is this: you really have 4 options. Let's say you have a note. That's your note. Your note can either go up. Your note can go down. Your note can stay the same. Or your note can stop. Or what we call a rest. So when you're looking down at your feet, don't think too far. And yes, we have to think about the future. Yes, we have to have vision. But when you're thinking about your purpose, the question you should be asking is based on where your feet are. Am I currently where I'm supposed to be? Okay, I only have 4 options. I can either turn this way and go more towards where I'm supposed to go, or I can turn this way, that's going more towards where I'm supposed to go, or I can continue going this direction, stay the same if that's where I'm supposed to go, or I can stop. I can rest. Now, let me just tell you now, sure, you can rest, but if you rest for too long, the song is over. You're not singing anymore. Resting is important, and sometimes we need to rest in order to reset and to put ourselves back on our path. But what I would like for you to focus on is making one step at a time. Where do I go from here? Where do I go next? Okay, think about that. I want you to think about this question, and this is our coming to our call to action. Who benefits when I live fully as myself? Because your real purpose is all the experiences that you have. Your purpose, listen, I thought when I was young, I thought my purpose was to be a famous singer. And then I started making music and started realizing I actually enjoy a whole lot more being behind the scenes. I actually don't like the way my body feels when I have too much attention. I don't I actually don't think I think I'm talented in these areas, but not necessarily in the areas that's gonna make me famous. But I like having these talents. Now I could have let that cause depression. I could have let that cause anxiety. I could have looked at that and said, man, I'm not fulfilling my purpose. But really, my purpose has been the whole discovery process and me finding out who I am today. And guess what? I'm not done discovering myself. Next year, or even tomorrow, I'm going to learn new things about myself. That's all part of the process. The key to living a purpose filled life, in my opinion, the key to living a purpose filled life is to do things that bring you joy, right? Remember, I said about how purpose brings clarity to your decision making? When you look down at your feet and you see where you currently are planted, ask yourself, is what I'm doing right now bringing me joy? Sometimes joy is a point of perspective. I have a coworker, which I don't understand this, but hey, this is her opinion. But she said, hey, I was interviewing for another job, but then I thought about this whole teaching thing. And one thing in teaching that brings me joy is having spirit days where we get to dress up in certain themes. Listen, I'm gonna be real with you. That don't connect with me because I don't even participate in the spirit days. Sometimes I forget what they are. Oh wait, what color were we supposed to wear? My bad, I forgot. So not a big deal to me. But that is something that brings her joy. She found something that, hey, even when I go to this job that frustrates me sometimes, that can be a little taxing, I have students that are annoying, or I have admin that gets on my nerves, or I have all this work to do. Hey, I find the bits and pieces that bring me joy. I get to teach something that I'm excited about. I get to dress up on days where, get to show my personality more. I get to control my environment in this classroom. There are so many ways where we can find joy in the things that we do, but if you absolutely cannot, if you are doing something, because sometimes we have to do things we just have to do. If you absolutely cannot find joy in it, change it. Do something else. Go a different direction. Change your note as you need to. And if you are getting burnt out, take a rest. Take a beat. But make sure you start singing at some point. You can't just stop, right? Finding purpose is really about finding joy in everything that we do. I've reached a point where I can gladly say there is nothing in my life that I have to do that I don't want to do. I know that sounds crazy. No, I don't like paying bills, but I like being able to turn on my AC, right? I don't like all the paperwork that comes with teaching, but I enjoy getting to teach what I want to teach, building relationships and mentoring students, and even, dealing with my coworkers. I find joy in those things. And that's what true purpose is about. So your challenge is I want you to think about who benefits when I live fully as myself. Of course, you benefit first. You should benefit in having joy every day from you being your full authentic self. But another thing that could bring us purpose and that could keep us going is to think, this person really benefits from the fact that I can be my full authentic self. If you're a parent, your child probably benefits from you being your full authentic self. And I want you to ask your children, hey, when you're being yourself, who do you think benefits from that? And make them pick someone. And then I want you to think and take this a step further. Another call to action is what I'm doing right now bringing me joy? How can I bring myself joy more? How can I put more joy into my life? Y'all think about that. Happy Kwanzaa, Habari Gani, Nia. I'll see y'all tomorrow.